We're joined now by the CEO of QVC, Dermot Boyd, which is approaching its 20 years on air in the UK. Also joined by Planet Retail analyst Isabel Cavill. So thanks very much for both joining me today. Dermot, to you first. It's a tough old world out there in real retail. You've got viewers up by 10% in the past 12 months. Tell me, are you translating those into sales, or are you all just at home, bored, not on the high street and watching QVC?
Well, we like people to watch, and it's interesting. Obviously, the economy's been tough over the past year. We found Q3 last year was tough, and our sales actually dipped, but we recovered well in Q4, and then we've been very pleased. Q1 we were up 4%. So certainly some of those
Did you have to discount? Have you had to discount a lot of product recently?
No. We avoid discounting. When we had the issues in Q3, it was really localized to the electronics business, where there was a lot of competition with people like Best Buy in the market, and so on. That's all changed a little now. But we're able to change. We're in the fortunate position of we can change our mix quite well. So we move towards things like beauty and fashion are real growth areas at the moment.
Isabel, I want to pick up on fashion. I mean, I've just read out a series of iconic brand names: LVMH, Prada, Burberry, etc. How robust are they? Just immune? I walked past Burberry in High Street last night, and I just think, my gosh, they're just immune, aren't they?
Well, they seem to be quite immune because there's a lot of growing emerging economies out there, a lot of shoppers travelling overseas to shop in these stores. So we're seeing, I think, for example, with the luxury goods retailing, we're seeing that sort of Chinese shoppers are apparently accounting for about half of sales, generally. So that is a really strong growth. We're also going to be seeing new markets for growth. There's Brazil, there's Russia, there's India. They're all coming up. And in that way, the market has proved quite resilient. And we're seeing that also in our luxury department stores as well, which are also performing really well at the moment.
And tell me, Dermot, I mean, QVC, I looked at some of the brands, some of them are very identifiable. You've got some real iconic personalities behind some of the brands, the Joan Rivers of this world, the Heidi Klum. Have you seen any evolution in conversation between the luxury end of the market, talking to QVC about diffusion brands? Is that a marriage that's going to work?
Yeah, I think one of the advantages we have, for example, today we've got Lulu Guinness on, with her bags, and she's got a few stores, mostly in London, and she came on QVC, and people kind of say, well, why do you do that? And it's because she can get exactly the same products, and she can get her brand and her image, and she's actually on talking about her products to our presenters, but it gets geographically
and they are the
nationwide.
Same products as I could go up into Covent Garden in central London.
Absolutely. The point is that they're the same products, but instead of having to open doors and open more stores across all the country, she can get immediately, we're in 24 million, 25 million homes, so she can get the same product, nationwide distribution, immediately. So it's very attractive as a way of developing the brand. We've also done the same with a number of beauty brands, and what we're finding, we've had a lot of success in high-end beauty. It works best for us, again, if it's not something that's distributed on every high street. So we have a lot of synergy with brands that do well in high-end department stores, be it Selfridges, be it John Lewis.
So they're exclusive within those high-end department stores. But then my question would be, what I really want to know is then, is QVC an inherent risk to the department stores out there in the UK?
In general, we're seeing a lot of, a democratization of a lot of the high-end brands. We're seeing a lot of... What
does that mean?
What that means is that we're seeing a lot of, premium brands being made more accessible to more shoppers, either through a lower price or through a specific product, through maybe a lower price channel, like say QVC or the internet, and this is becoming, it's increasing more. But what we're seeing with the department stores is that we're seeing more exclusive brands for department stores too. So you'll go to a department store to find an exclusive, say, Prada line, and this is and for this way we're seeing that department stores are actually doing very well. And they also offer customer service, which you can't get, obviously, on the internet and via QVC.
Dermot would probably object vehemently to that.
We're actually finding that with the department stores in particular, there can be a win-win-win. It can be a win for the vendor, and a win for us, and a win for the department store. Because what we find is, if we get something like a product launch, and they come on QVC, and we sell, and so it sells for the day that we launch it, and for a couple of days after, we'll sell well on our website. But then they find that actually partly being on air with us acts as advertising. So they find that sales actually go up in store as well. So initially when we launched, there were people who were concerned that you'll take all the business and the other channels will go down, but we're finding increasingly, particularly with the higher end brands without the wide distribution, that it can be a win for everybody. We have a period where it's on air and we have strong sales and the vendor's happy with that, but then actually the department stores watch quite closely what we have on because they know that they're going to get a sales kicker the next week. So it does act partly as advertising.
I'm curious to know, is QVC aspirational, almost sort of grows the young 20 to 30 age group up the product tree, and then they come to the high end, Dermot?
I think in terms of demographic, we're probably more 35 and up than we're not. We're not. The point being partly that we like a demographic that has disposable income, and there's lots of competition in say fashion for the 20-year-old market that to be honest we're not so interested in. We have our niche in the market, and the age people tend to think that we're actually a little older than that. Over time, the age that we appeal to the average age has actually come down a little in the last 5 years. We are seeing that our new customers come in younger than the existing, but the age range, our core demographic is really around that kind of 40 to 50 age, where they have plenty of disposable income and can treat themselves to either
a Lulu Guinness handbag,
handbag, or
Lulu's getting a bit of a plug here on the last word. I think you're doing a deal with that. Tell me this: are the luxury brands missing? I mean, if you look at QVC online, on TV, internet distribution portal. Are the luxury brands actually missing a trick here in that it's not going to dilute their brand, it just boost their sales, they actually get their internet proposition correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the luxury brands have also invested a lot in internet, a lot in social sort of networking.
I know, I signed up on Twitter to a few of them, it's murder.
I know. Well, if you look at Burberry, it's really invested in its online channels and its Facebook, Twitter, everything. So I don't think they're falling behind at all. And I also think they're seeing every single new sales channel as a real opportunity to grow their business.
But I think really they do need to be multi-channel as well, because it's about, with the high-end brands and with themselves, it's about entertaining and having a story behind the product as well. I think you can distinguish between some of the pure play e-tailers, for example Amazon, where it's a very functional experience. If you want to get a good product at a good price and you know what you want, that's where you go. But if you're interested in the shopping experience, in browsing, in having people tell you the story behind the product as well, then that's something that the luxury brands do exceptionally well, and I obviously think that we do it as well.
And that's going to actually change though, because Amazon is really going to start investing in the store experience. I mean, they're introducing more high-end brands, more premium brands.
I can't let you go without telling me who your real favourite high-end brands are. Give me the go on.
I do like Prada a lot. I like some of the LVMH brands. Hermes, that's a bit of a tricky one. But in terms of investment, I mean, there's a lot that you can invest in at the moment. I mean, most of the brands that are dealing with Asia, mainly Prada's very good, Burberry is very good. It's again, that's appealing to a younger demographic with a lot of money. I would say they're good ones.
Are we going to get a chance to invest in your company again anytime soon?
Actually, there's a closer to pure play than there has been. Liberty Interactive, Linta, quoted in the States, is splitting down to there's a split to a tracker stock coming that is about 90% global QVC. So actually there is an opportunity to
I can get access to those Lulu Guinness handbags for the mother and the sister. Dermot Boyd, QVC CEO, and Isabel Cavill from Planet Retail.